So, you think Cuba is just old cars and no Wi-Fi? That's the image that pops up in most people's minds. Chrome bumpers, pastel paint jobs, and a total blackout on Instagram. It's almost like Cuba is frozen in time, a living postcard from the 1950s where the internet is a rumor and every street corner is a car show. Spoiler alert, yeah, that's mostly true. Wi-Fi is a scavenger hunt, and those classic cars? They're everywhere, rumbling down the Malecon like it's opening night on Broadway. But there's so much more to this island than just what you see on a postcard or a filtered social feed. Cuba, the forbidden fruit, just south of Florida, so close, yet so confusing for many Americans. It's a place that feels both familiar and completely foreign, a neighbor you've heard stories about but never really met. The distance is short, but the cultural leap, that's a whole other story. You hear Cuba, you think cigars, rum, maybe that catchy song you can't get out of your head. The island's reputation is built on these icons, smoky lounges, salsa rhythms, and the kind of nightlife that makes you want to dance, even if you have two left feet. But traveling there solo, people act like it's rocket science. Friends and family will warn you about everything. Language barriers, money exchanges, even the food. It's as if stepping off the plane in Havana is stepping onto another planet. The first question, but what about the Wi-Fi? As if posting vacation selfies is a matter of national security. Everyone's obsessed with staying connected, but in Cuba, you learn to disconnect. You'll see people huddled in parks, faces lit by phone screens, chasing that elusive signal. It's a digital detox whether you want it or not. And yes, the cars are old, beautifully, wonderfully old. Like your grandpa's favorite jokes, still working their magic, still making people smile. Each car has a story patched together with love, ingenuity, and whatever spare parts could be found. They're not just vehicles, they're rolling pieces of history. People imagine it's a time warp. They're not entirely wrong. Walking through Havana can feel like stepping onto a movie set, where the past and present blur together. The buildings, the music, the fashion, it's nostalgia brought to life, but with its own unique Cuban twist. Most folks end up on a tour, everything planned, every minute scheduled, every authentic experience shared with 50 other tourists. You're herded from one landmark to the next, ticking boxes on an itinerary someone else wrote for you. You get on the bus, snap a photo, get back on the bus. It's like being in a museum exhibit you can't touch. The real Cuba is just outside the glass, but you're rolling past it, one snapshot at a time. These tours are great if you want to see Cuba from behind a window. You'll get the highlights, sure, but you'll miss the heartbeats, the little surprises, the moments that make travel unforgettable. But will you really see Cuba? Or just a version of it polished and packaged for tourists? Will you talk to anyone not paid to talk to you? Will you have a real conversation, or just exchange pleasantries with hotel staff and tour guides? Will you stumble into a local spot and order something you can't pronounce? Probably not. You'll stick to the safe choices, the familiar flavors, and miss out on the culinary adventures that make travel deliciously unpredictable. You'll get the curated, Wi-Fi is limited, but here's another cocktail version of Cuba. It's comfortable, it's easy, but it's not the whole story. But where's the real adventure in that? Where's the thrill of the unknown, the stories you'll tell for years? If you want more than a highlight reel, maybe it's time to ditch the bus. Step off the beaten path, wander down a side street and see what you find. Cuba's real magic? It's not on the itinerary, it's in the laughter of locals, the rhythm of the streets, the unexpected invitations to join a domino game or a rooftop party. So are you ready to find it? Are you ready to trade comfort for curiosity and routine for discovery? Let's see what happens when you step off the bus. The real Cuba is waiting, if you're willing to look for it. So, you want the real deal? The slightly chaotic, figure-it-out-as-you-go adventure? The kind of trip where you're not just ticking off tourist sites, but actually living, breathing, and sometimes stumbling your way through Cuba's vibrant streets. If you're craving authenticity, unpredictability, and a little bit of challenge, you're in the right place. Good. You're ready to ditch the herd. First step, paperwork. It's not glamorous, but it's essential. Before you even think about mojitos or classic cars, you need to get your documents in order. Americans need a tourist card and must travel under an approved category. Support for the Cuban people is the go-to. This isn't just a box to check, it's your ticket to exploring Cuba legally and responsibly. Getting the tourist card is usually simple. Airlines often help. Some airlines sell them at the gate, others online, and a few at check-in. Double check with your carrier before you fly. Just make sure your passport isn't about to expire. Cuba requires at least 6 months validity from your arrival date, so check that expiration date now, seriously, right now. And remember, US credit and debit cards don't work in Cuba. No Apple Pay, no Venmo, no, I'll just hit the ATM when I get there. Bring cash, more than you think you'll need. Budget for meals, taxis, souvenirs, and a little extra for the unexpected. Because in Cuba, the unexpected is part of the adventure. Finding a friendly ATM is like winning the lottery. Don't count on it. Even if you spot one, it might be out of service, out of cash, or just not compatible with your card. Exchange your dollars or euros at official currency exchanges or banks. Avoid street changers. They might offer a better rate, but scams are common. Where to stay? Skip the generic hotels. They're often overpriced, impersonal, and you'll miss out on the real Cuban experience. Book a casa particular, a room in a Cuban family's home. This is your gateway to authentic Cuban hospitality. It's like Airbnb, but with more personality and less Wi-Fi. Expect home-cooked breakfasts, local tips, and maybe even a salsa lesson in the living room. Look for the blue anchor sign outside. That's how you know it's official and government-approved. Rooms are clean, affordable, and everywhere. From bustling Havana to sleepy villages, there's always a casa waiting for you. You'll see how real Cubans live, and your money goes straight to the family, not a faceless corporation. Every stay helps support local people directly. Don't expect a mint on your pillow. Casas are simple, but they're full of heart. Maybe a strong coffee or a good story instead. You might even get invited to a family dinner or a neighborhood celebration. This is how you support the Cuban people for real. Your dollars make a difference here, helping families thrive. And it's how you start seeing the real Cuba. Not just the postcard version, but the everyday magic. Kids playing baseball in the street, neighbors sharing gossip, music drifting from open windows. So pack your curiosity and your cash. Leave room for flexibility, patience, and a sense of humor. Adventure begins at the front door of your casa. Every day is a new story waiting to unfold. Ready to live like a local? Let's keep going. Cuba's waiting. The best moments are the ones you can't plan, and it's nothing like the brochure. It's better, messier, warmer, and more unforgettable than you ever imagined. You've landed in Cuba, the warm air hits you, and you found your casa particular, your home away from home. Now comes the real question. How do you actually get around in a country where your phone is basically just a camera and not your digital lifeline? Forget about hailing an Uber or checking a rideshare app. Those conveniences don't exist here, so you'll need to embrace a different rhythm. Transportation in Cuba is an adventure in itself, a blend of the old and the unexpected. Those iconic 1950s American cars you've seen in photos, they're not just for show, they're everywhere, and they double as taxis, adding a splash of nostalgia to every ride. Riding in one is like cruising through history. The engines rumble, the ride is bumpy, and the interiors are a patchwork of vibrant colors and clever repairs. It's loud, it's imperfect, but it's pure style. These almendrones, as locals call them, are the backbone of Cuban transport, connecting neighborhoods and cities alike. You can share a ride with locals for a few pesos, making it a budget-friendly option, or hire one just for yourself if you want a private tour of the city. Bargaining is part of the experience. Don't be shy, ask cuánto cuesta, and negotiate with a smile. It's expected, and sometimes it leads to a friendly chat or a local tip. If you're traveling between cities, the Via Azul bus is your go-to. It's the main long-distance bus for tourists, connecting Havana to places like Vinales, Trinidad, and Santiago. Book your ticket ahead of time. Seats fill up quickly, especially during peak travel seasons. Don't count on just showing up and grabbing a spot. For local journeys, hop on a guagua, the local bus. They're crowded, often running on their own unpredictable schedule, but they're incredibly cheap, and a true slice of Cuban daily life. On these buses, you'll be shoulder to shoulder with Cubans heading to work, school, or the market. It's a chance to see the real Cuba, up close and unfiltered. But honestly, the best way to explore cities like Havana or Trinidad is on foot. The streets are alive with music, color, and surprises around every corner. Wandering on foot, you'll stumble upon hidden plazas, vibrant street art, and maybe even a tucked-away cafe you'd never find otherwise. And yes, you'll probably get lost at least once. But getting lost is half the fun. It's how you discover the unexpected and collect stories you'll tell for years. And if you need help, just ask. Cubans are famously friendly and usually happy to point you in the right direction. Often after a quick chat about baseball, music, or the weather. Your phone? Here, it's mostly a camera and a map. Forget about constant connectivity. Embrace the analog adventure and be present in the moment. Every ride, every walk, every wrong turn is a story waiting to happen. Cuba rewards curiosity and a sense of humor, so step outside, take a deep breath, and let the city guide you. You never know what you'll find just around the corner. Cuba moves at its own pace, slow, steady, and full of character. There's no rush, and that's part of the magic. Let yourself slow down, soak it all in, and enjoy the journey as much as the destination. Ready to roll? Cuba's waiting, let's go explore. Let's talk about the big one, Wi-Fi. In Cuba, it's a quest. You'll need to find a Wi-Fi park, buy a scratch-off a Texa card, and join the crowd huddled around their screens. Internet is a planned event, not a background habit. Buy extra cards when you find them, you'll thank yourself. Being offline is part of the experience. You might even enjoy it. Now money. Cuba used to have two currencies, but now it's mostly the Cuban peso, SUP. Some stores use MLC. Ask before you buy. Cash is king. US cards don't work, so bring euros or Canadian dollars to exchange. Keep your cash safe and don't flash it around. Use it for street food, souvenirs, and supporting locals. Navigating money and Wi-Fi is part of the Cuban adventure. It's confusing at first, but you'll get the hang of it. And you'll have stories to tell. Embrace the quirks. They're what make Cuba Cuba. Forget convenience. Embrace curiosity. Every challenge is a chance to connect, and every connection is a memory. Ready for the next surprise? Let's keep moving. So, you've got the cash and the Wi-Fi, sort of. Now what about talking to locals? In tourist spots, some Cubans speak English, especially the younger crowd. But off the beaten path, your Spanish will be tested. Learn a few basics. Hola, hello, gracias, thank you. ¿Dónde está el baño? Where's the bathroom? People appreciate the effort. Mispronounce something, it's fine. You'll laugh, they'll laugh, and maybe you'll get a funny story or a weird haircut. When words fail, use charades, point, smile, gesture. It works surprisingly well. Cubans are patient and good-humored. They've seen it all from tourists. Embrace the mix-ups. They lead to the best moments. Maybe you'll get on the wrong bus and discover a hidden neighborhood. Or order a mystery dish that's unexpectedly delicious, or not. Either way, it's a story to tell. Don't be shy, this is Cuba. Things get mixed up and that's part of the fun. The best memories come from the unexpected. So take a chance, try the Spanish, order the mystery meal. You'll come home with more than souvenirs, you'll have stories worth sharing. And that's what travel is all about. So, why go through all this hassle? Because the freedom you gain is incredible. No tour guide, no rigid schedule. You wake up and decide what you want to do. Spend hours in a cafe, wander a hidden beach, or just watch life go by. It's all up to you. You meet real people, the family at your casa, the fruit seller, the street musician. You have genuine conversations, not just transactions. You learn about their lives and they learn about yours. It's messy, unpredictable, and 1,000,000 times more rewarding than any package tour. These are the souvenirs that last. You see the real Cuba resilience, creativity, warmth. Yes, there are challenges, but there's also joy, music, and vibrant art everywhere. And the coffee, strong, sweet, unforgettable. Traveling solo in Cuba isn't for everyone. If you need perfection, stick to the tour. But if you're curious and a little brave, Cuba will change you. So I dare you, ditch the itinerary, embrace the unknown, and find your own Cuba. You might discover it's the best trip you've ever taken, or at least, the one with the best stories. Go on, try it.